When it comes to villains in gaming, few characters evoke as much hatred as Micah Bell from Red Dead Redemption 2. He's ruthless, conniving, and just downright detestable. But what if I told you there's more to Micah's story than meets the eye? What if, instead of being the heartless antagonist we all love to hate, Micah is actually the real victim of the Vandalin gang's downfall? In today's video, we're flipping the narrative and diving deep into the complex world of Micah Bell to uncover whether his actions were truly evil or if he was just a product of his environment, choices, and circumstances. Let's take a closer look at the man behind the mayhem. To better understand why Micah is actually the way he is and why he might actually be the real victim in Red Dead Redemption 2, let's take a quick look at his origin story. Micah Bell was born in 1860 and grew up alongside his brother, Amos, raised under the influence of their father. And unlike Arthur Morgan or John Marston, Micah didn't have a loving, responsible, and caring father figure. Micah's father was a ruthless and violent man. From the start, Micah's father did nothing but enable Micah to do the same as him, practically grooming Micah to follow in his murderous footsteps. Micah's father also made him his main partner in crime. This left little room for him to develop his own sense of morality or identity outside of his father's shadow. From what we know of, Micah's first murder was when he was 17. Him and his father had committed a brutal double homicide together. Micah and his father were apparently so bad that Micah's brother Amos later in life turned to God and is desperately trying to right his wrongs he made while with them. You can even find a letter in the camp that Amos sent to Micah, pretty much saying if he ever sees Micah again, he's going to kill him. Then, finally, Micah joined the Vandalin gang after saving Dutch from a gang dispute in a bar. Now, I'm not saying Micah is completely justified for his actions later in life because of the way he grew up around a ruthless killer, but it's the same logic I used in my video on how Homelander is the real victim in The Boys. If Micah was raised by someone normal and loving, then he definitely wouldn't have turned out the way he did. Now, I know my next point is stating something I'm sure we've all thought about after finishing the game, but Micah is technically the good guy. He's the one working with the Pinkertons who are just cops. The Pinkertons only seem like the bad guys because they are a little mean sometimes, and they kidnap Abigail at the end of the game. And it's not like the Vandalin gang is good. Sure, there's good people in it, like Mary Beth and Tilly, but there's also plenty of bad people in the gang. Majority of the men in the group are completely fine with killing and robbing people every day. Sure, Arthur gets a redemption arc, but he was pretty bad at the start of the game. So you can kinda see why the Pinkertons show little humanity around them. The Vandalin gang isn't good, and the Pinkertons' only job is to stop criminals. They are the ones seeing the trail of destruction the gang is leaving behind them as they run away. For example, during the mission where Arthur saves Micah from the jail in Strawberry, right after Arthur saves Micah, they then go on to slaughter half the town. Yes, I know Micah started the whole thing, but Arthur went along with it. He could have just left and let Micah do his own thing. And Arthur doesn't even seem that sad about killing half the town. He might bring it up once or twice during the entire game. There are several examples where Arthur helps people steamroll entire towns. Yes, they did it to survive, but they all show very little remorse. Furthermore, in the same mission where Arthur gets tuberculosis, he robs a man who barely speaks English and beats the crap out of him, taking everything he has. Arthur has no problem in taking money from people even if it means they won't have money to survive later in life. And there are several examples in the game where you see their leader, Dutch, also has no problem in killing, even before he hits his head and starts turning a little more evil towards the end of the game. And also in the very end of the game, there are a few gang members who even side with Dutch after he's done all these crazy things. So the Vandalin gang getting arrested by the Pinkertons would definitely benefit every other civilian greatly. Now back to Micah. It's not like he's being treated well by the Vandalin gang. Yes, Micah does a lot of terrible things, but I'm pretty sure everyone in the camp other than Dutch does not like Micah. There's always an underlying hatred for Micah whenever he's around. Now, I'm gonna be honest, it's not easy to call Micah a victim since he almost shows no remorse for anything he does, but that's just because he's supposed to be the villain in the story. There are many examples of other video game characters who are the good guys, but do much worse than Micah ever did. The most obvious example would be Joel Miller from the Last of Us games. Joel kills hundreds of people, and like Arthur or Micah, he shows almost no remorse for those actions. Even when they had a possibility to create a cure and save the Earth, what did Joel do? kill everyone in the building and stop their only chance to create a cure just to save a girl he's only known for less than a year. Now, I know you can actually find some evidence where it says that the procedure most likely won't work and they would kill Ellie for nothing, but Joel doesn't know that, he's just doing it for his own selfish reasons. And in the dialogue between Joel and his brother, they say they used to do far worse just to survive. This includes pretending to be hurt so people would stop to help, but then rob the Good Samaritans, possibly even killing them after. All just to survive, and that's exactly what Micah is doing. Micah has gone too far down this path, and now he's just doing whatever he can to survive. And unlike other characters, Micah doesn't have anyone good around him to actually snap him out of the murderous mindset he's in. He's all alone in this. Also, to further my point, we could even talk about Nathan Drake, and how he's killed thousands of people just for the possibility to become extremely rich. Nathan and Joel do far worse than Micah, yet they are some of gamers' favorite video game characters. Plus, it's not even like Micah Bell is all evil. Yes, 90% of the things he does in the game are downright horrible, but he does do some good. For example, there is multiple times in the game where Micah helps defend the gang. I have no doubt that if we got a video game from Micah's perspective, Micah wouldn't be nearly as hated as he is right now. And let's be honest, most of us don't even hate Micah because he's a killer and a thief. If we did, we would also have to hate Arthur and the rest of the gang. We only hate Micah so much is because of what he did to Arthur at the end of the game. And he helps the gang with heists so they can all get money that directly helps the Vandalin gang survive. And for some of those robberies, he's the one that brings it to the gang and provides the information necessary to pull it off. His plans don't always go exactly to plan. For example, Arthur almost dies during the mission where you help Micah rob the stagecoach. Now, is he doing most of these good deeds just to benefit himself? Yes, most likely. But at the end of the day, he is still helping the gang survive. So he is earning his keep. It's not like he's sitting around all day being annoying like Uncle. Honestly, why the hell does the Vandalin gang keep Uncle around? Seriously, what does he do to benefit the gang? I know this video is about Micah, but tell me, do you guys like Uncle? Because whenever he talks, I just get pissed off. But at the same time, I could see him being a fan favorite for some reason. Anyways, back to Micah and all the wonderful things he's done in the game. After Arthur helps him break out of jail, he gives him a holster, so he can then dual wield for the rest of the game. So, to summarize it, Micah just had a troubled childhood, being raised by his murderous father. The only good relationship he had was probably with his brother, who now wants to kill him, and no one around him to pull him out of the darkness he is lost in, only people to encourage it. And that is why Micah Bell is the real victim in Red Dead Redemption 2. If you've made it this far into the video and you've enjoyed it, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. And if you want to see more videos like this one, check out my video I mentioned earlier in the beginning of the video on why Homelander is the real victim in The Boys. Or if you want to see more Red Dead Redemption videos, I have 3 more, talking about theories in the Red Dead Redemption universe that could be true. Thanks for watching, I'll see you in the next one, goodbye.